When looking at the key success factor of operations, we can use Airline Quality Rating, or AQR, as a key metric. AQR scores are based on 15 elements in 4 major areas that focus on airline performance aspects important to air travel consumers. The 4 major areas for the AQR are mishandled bags, denied boarding, customer complaints, and on-time flights. Dependence on oil production, labor agreements, and a duopoly in aircraft manufacturing prevent airlines from having any substantial impact on these cost drivers. With revenues fixed by competitive ticket pricing and the majority of their costs out of their control, airlines are challenged to maintain earnings and gain competitive advantage by controlling less than 35% of their cost structure. Of the 4 airlines that are being compared, United Airlines and Delta Airlines appear to be the most closely related. Both United and Delta operate using the hub-and-spoke approach, while Southwest has created their own niche with a low-cost, quick turnaround market. The merger of Continental and United virtually ensured a natural competition with Delta in revenue, but the 2 airlines split the key success factors of operations and cost. With the first full year post-merger, United is within a percentage point of Delta in the key performance indicator for revenue. Delta, American, and Southwest have remained fairly consistent over the last 3 years in terms of revenue KPIs.
The UAL goal is to differentiate based on amenities such as international Wi-Fi, fleet improvements such as the new 787, and customer loyalty programs. Generally, UAL is middle of the pack with respect to ticket price. Delta Airlines' goal is to differentiate based on hospitality, airport kiosk, and routes to Europe from New York. They use the lower costs from their bankruptcy emergence to compete in markets against low-cost airlines. American Airlines' goal is to differentiate based on the market share of routes to worldwide financial hubs. And then the Southwest Airlines' goal is to remain the focused cost leader. Section 5, Internal Analysis, will examine the company history, the management team, overview of the company's services and operations, key resources, capabilities, and core competencies, and evaluate the business level strategy.
No single airline has played a bigger role in the innovation and evolution of commercial aviation than United Airlines. United Airlines has the distinction of industry firsts, such as the United States' earliest sustained commercial air-mail flights and first transcontinental passenger service. In 1926, Walter Varney founded Varney Airlines in Boise, Idaho. Varney's chief pilot, Leon D. Lee Cuddeback, flew the first contract airmail flight in a Swallow biplane from Boise, Idaho to Pasco, Washington. In 1927, William Boeing founded Boeing Air Transport and began buying other airmail carriers, including Varney's, as well as several airports. In 1929, the company changed its name to United Aircraft and Transport Corp., and in 1930, as the capacity of airlines became sufficient to carry passengers as well as mail, Boeing hired registered nurse Ellen Church to assist customers and give them faith in aviation. As we fast forward in time, in response to the terrorist acts of September 11, 2001, customers began to turn away from air travel. Coupled with an unforgiving economy, United Airlines faced losses of over $2 billion. After the lengthy process of filing for bankruptcy and beginning their gradual financial recovery, the company began to act upon its intentions to acquire Continental Airlines in 2010. By August of the same year, the deal was approved and the 2 airlines merged under the name of United Airlines. United Airlines management team is made up of 8 executives, including Jeff Smisek, Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer at United Airlines. Prior to this role, Smisek was Chairman, President, and Chief Executive Officer of Continental Airlines, which merged with United Airlines in 2010. Smisek joined Continental in 1995 as Senior Vice President and General Counsel. In 2004, he became president and was elected to the company's board of directors. He became president and COO in September 2008. United Airlines and United Express operate an average of 5,341 flights a day to more than 360 airports across 6 continents. In 2012, United and United Express carried more passenger traffic than any other airline in the world and operated nearly 2 million flights, carrying 140 million customers. United is investing in upgrading its onboard products and now offers more flatbed seats in its premium cabins and more extra legroom in economy class seating than any other airline in North America. In 2013, United became the first U.S.-based international carrier to offer satellite-based Wi-Fi on long-haul overseas routes. The airline also features DirecTV on 200 aircraft, offering customers more live television access than any other airline in the world. United operates nearly 700 mainline aircraft and has made large-scale investments in its fleet. United is the world's leading airline and is focused on being the airline customers want to fly and the airline employees want to work for. Their extensive global route network, fleet, loyalty program, and employees make them a very attractive company. United Airlines boasts a modern fleet which is the most fuel efficient among U.S. network carriers when adjusted for cabin size. United Airlines also has the industry-leading loyalty program that provides more opportunities to earn and redeem miles worldwide. In addition, more than 50 United clubs in 38 airports worldwide offer members complimentary bar service, light snacks and beverages, business amenities such as Wi-Fi, conference rooms and workstations, and personalized assistance with reservations, seat selection, upgrades, and boarding passes.
The business level strategy, similar to the company goal for UAL, is focused differentiation strategy, including the first international Wi-Fi, first airline to acquire new 787s, and the best loyalty program per global traveler. Delta Airlines is an integrated cost leadership and differentiation strategy. They look at customer service and hospitable staff, and they have prices competitive with low-cost airlines. American Airlines differentiates itself based on its route network, not on price, and Southwest Airlines has a cost leadership strategy. UAL posted a 2012 year-end loss of $723 million. A significant amount of this loss was due to special items such as $551 million for charges associated with the new joint collective bargaining agreement. Although significant, removal of these special charges only restores UAL's 2012 profit to $389 million, far less than the 2011 profit of $840 million. UAL is facing a problem. Although labor issues and consolidation expenses are significant, the primary problem facing UAL is fuel cost. In 2012, an additional $763 million of fuel expenses increased operational costs and were written off to UAL's retained earnings losses. The table below shows that fuel costs are significant and becoming an ever-increasing component of total operating cost. Section 7 will discuss the recommendations to the fuel issue. These will include to gain a cost and stability advantage of biofuels, replace older aircraft with new efficient aircraft, reevaluate the route structures, and then to evaluate the best recommendation, justification of it, and the implementation plan. Unlike oil, the price of biofuels can be controlled to reduce variability. Biofuels are a sustainable resource that will not be exhausted, but instead continue to drop in price as more crops are devoted to this purpose. Algae in particular is the most land-efficient biostock, as only 68,000 square kilometers of land devoted to algae biostocks would produce enough fuel to completely supply the aviation industry with 100% biofuel. The geographical areas that are most conducive to growing biostocks are generally located in low-cost areas of the world such as Southeast Asia, Africa, and South America. Although the benefit from an investment in biofuel is longer term, it is recommended that UAL begin investing in biofuel infrastructure today. UAL has already demonstrated the feasibility of using biofuels. They conducted the first U.S. commercial flight powered partly by algae-based fuel on November 7, 2011. Biofuels will become economically competitive when economies of scale help to reduce the price. However, that first requires a large-scale commitment. UAL should make the commitment to develop biofuel production facilities in low-cost centers. A secondary benefit would be the reduction of any carbon emissions tariffs that might be imposed over regions such as Europe. A near-term solution to reducing the impact of fuel cost is to use more fuel-efficient aircraft. Two new aircraft, the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350, have made dramatic improvements in fuel efficiency. In general, these aircraft use approximately 20% less fuel than the aircraft that they would replace, mostly due to the widespread use of lighter weight composites for the aircraft structure. UAL is making inroads in this activity, having acquired 5 787s in 2012. Although UAL was the first domestic airline to acquire the efficient 787, it still has a fleet of approximately 700 aircraft that are not fuel efficient. The attached table identifies the current UAL mainline fleet mix and the average age of the aircraft type, which would be a surrogate for the fuel efficiency of the aircraft. Aircraft with an average age of greater than 10 years are highlighted. Replacing these older aircraft with modern aircraft that are much more fuel efficient would dramatically reduce the operational fuel costs. The table below shows the current international route map for UAL. It can be noted that most UAL flights either originate or terminate in one of the major UAL hubs. These hubs include Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, Houston, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Washington, Dulles, and San Francisco. Passengers leaving, say, Seattle and headed to New York may have to connect in Houston or Denver. Both connecting options are considerably far from the most efficient Great Circle route and require more fuel per passenger. In general, a hub-and-spoke approach is the most efficient overall structure for maintaining reasonable flight loads and consolidating aircraft support operations. However, it can also generate inefficiencies. Hubs can become single points of failure in the case of bad weather or air traffic congestion. Hubs also result in fuel-inefficient travel. The best option would be a hybrid combination of hubs with point-to-point flights to cities with sufficient traffic. The best recommendation is to implement both a near-term and far-term solution. Invest in fuel-efficient aircraft for near-term benefits and biofuel processing plant for long-term benefits. Fuel-efficient aircraft will be a short-lived competitive advantage as other airlines will eventually acquire those same aircraft. However, a biofuel processing plant can provide a long-term sustainable advantage, assuming that intellectual property such as patents and trade secret laws are used to protect the process. Other airlines can be dissuaded from participating by selling them the excess fuel. They won't have to create their own facilities. Third world involvement can help keep costs low while helping the local economies, and a focus on algae reduces the acreage requirement. The implementation plan for these recommendations is first to continue the purchasing strategy but increase the rate to roughly 4 per month. Use the fuel savings, which is estimated to be about $3 million per plane per year, to help finance additional aircraft purchases. This should enable an entire fleet replacement in roughly 15 years. At that point, the estimated savings from fuel benefit is roughly $2 billion a year recurring. Second, purchase a small biofuel processing plant as a pilot project in a third world country with ideal growing conditions and lower costs. Use intellectual property methods such as patents and trade secrets, record all issues and financial impacts, iterate to mitigate and resolve issues, develop a best practices approach for the full-scale project, and then implement a full-scale project. These recommendations and this implementation plan have a high chance of reducing United Airlines' vulnerability to additional fuel cost increases in the future.